I'm James Frame with Force Ghost Custom Sabers, and I'm new to the sabering world, and this is my first commission for a guy named Julian in Texas, and this is called Endurance. And the reason it is called Endurance is because the idea for this saber is to make it look as though it was recovered from a Jedi temple, and the Jedi that owned it was fallen and did not survive. However, the lightsaber endured. See the name? Haha. And it is a nice weathered saber. It's a PVC build. It has Nano Biscotti V4 soundboard, a 2.1 millimeter recharge port. It has a Tri-Crete LED, blue, blue, red. So it's a nice purple blade with a purple illuminated AV switch. It has an 18650 battery and a real leather wrap. It's a really nice saber. I'm really jealous that I don't get to keep it. It's comfortable. It's got a nice skinny grip, and let's give a listen to it. All right. I love the boot sound on these Nano Biscottis, at least the one that this one came with. So here we go. It's nice and bright. It's a beautiful blade. This blade doesn't do it justice. It's very beat up. All my blades are beat up because I use them. But it's a very responsive soundboard. I love this soundboard. And how to switch your sounds, you hold down on the button, turn it off, then hold it down again. You hear the first beep, next beep, you're at your next sound font. This one. So it gives that sound like you're just lightly toying with your enemy. Turn it off. First beep. Next sound font. This one has a very soft hum. You can barely hear it. I love the clashing noises. So now we're back to the first sound font. And now something that this saber does, that the Nano Biscotti does, that I really like, is you hold it down, and when you hear the first beep, you let off the button. And now you're mute. So, if you are like I am, and you're always practicing in your living room while your fiance is watching TV, you don't bother her. It still has all of its clashing functions. It's really nice to have that nice mute sound, and then you just hit the button, and it goes away. So this is it. This is Endurance, and let's get a closer look at it. So let's take a closer look at this beautiful lightsaber. So what we have a nice weathering effect that I did. I've done some cracks and holes. You actually can see through this when I turn the blade on. You'll be able to see light through here, which follows over. And then I've got some more over here, more damage. I wanted a chipped paint effect. Heavy weathering over the whole saber. A little bit of rust effect. I have a nice illuminated AV switch. It will be purple. You'll see that when I turn the saber on. Something I'm really proud of is how nicely the leather turned out. I actually did a leather wrap, but then I trimmed it so that it would disappear under the 45-degree angle. That was actually pretty tricky. It's not anything I've seen on anybody else's sabers before, so it's something I wanted to try. So let's give a look at this with the saber on. Alright, you can see the purple switch. beautiful purple blade, very bright, a nice flicker. And you can see how that light comes right through that little crack. I'm not sure if you can see it from this angle. There you go. I wish I had a nice show blade, but this is my test blade and it's a mess. It's been through a lot. Alright. You can see that, let me turn this off. Actually, I'll turn on the nice mute function that this lightsaber has. And you'll probably notice something familiar about this is that it has, its pommel used to be the emitter of a Darth Vader lightsaber. And what I did was I sanded it down smooth and filled it and repainted it and put a new set screw in. You'll remove this to take the pommel off. I'll show you that in a minute. But Julian is a big Darth Vader fan. He's got a beautiful Darth Vader costume that he's made. He's invested a lot of money in. So knowing that he likes Darth Vader so much, I figured it would be a nice nod to Vader to make the pommel a former Vader emitter. But it's been modified and it's been filled in. Normally these are open caverns and I filled those. And it's got a cover tech wheel so you can hook it to his belt. And this saber is going to be a shelf queen. The only reason for that is if he were to duel with this, there's a possibility he could break off one of these claws, and these weren't easy to do, really. Make them even and straight. They are heat-formed PVC. Right here you'll have your set screws. This set screw is for the LED, and this one goes into the body of the saber. So these two he won't need to touch. This one is your set screw for your blade. This is the one you'll loosen to remove it. So I'll show you that really quickly. You only need to back it out a little bit. And it's a nice snug fit. There you are. So it's really not a big deal to get in and out. You'll never have to worry about it flying off. And there we go. And then I'll show you how to get to the Nano Biscotti. I'll show you how to get to the recharge port and also get to the sound card. Alright, so let's get a look at the other side of this saber. You can see it's nice and dirty and weathered and the rust. And again, I'll point out the leather. The idea was that this lightsaber is recovered from a Jedi temple. It's been sitting in the dirt for 1,000 years. So this leather, I wanted it to look rotted and dirty and pretty much look like it's getting ready to fall off the saber. I think I achieved that pretty good. So let's take a look at how to access the recharge port and the Nano Biscotti sound card. So you'll notice on the pommel I have two set screws. I've got a stainless steel on the bottom and this brass one on the top. So it doesn't matter which ones you take off first. And just unscrew the top one, and then the bottom, which is in there nice and snug. Okay, and then this just comes off nice and easy, just a little wiggle. You'll see it's chipped up on the inside too. I'll work on that, I did. And then you'll see I have a little ribbon here. So this prevents you from having to bang it on anything to get the electronics to pop out. I like to do this to all my sabers. It just makes things easier. So you just give it a little bit of a pull and it comes right out. And then there is your 2.1mm recharge port. And then there's your Nano Biscotti V4 and the sound card. And all you have to do is push it in, pull it out. And there you go. And you can do any modifications to the sounds that you want, add anything, take anything off, customize it how you want. You can do whatever you want with this thing. And it's really easy to put in and take out. I wanted to make sure it's very easy to access. And then you just take it, it goes nice and easily back in. I push it in flush. And then you just take this, and it lines up really nice the way I designed it. So you just take it, you wiggle it back on, make sure it's nice and snug. You want to make sure your holes are lined up. And you'll know that it's lined up. I always start, when you close the saber up, use the brass or the stainless steel one first. And you know you have it lined up. See how it wiggles just a little bit. And it screws in nice and easy, see? You don't have to force it or anything. That's when you know that you've got your holes lined up. Now one thing you'll notice about this one is when you put it in the hole, it's actually going to drop in. I think I have a good angle on that. And you can see that it'll just drop into that hole. And then that's when it hits the point at which it's been threaded. And then it will just screw right in, nice and snug. And that is how you access the electronics. So we'll pull away and I'll give you another view. I'll show you the whole thing, swing it around a little bit. And yeah, that is Endurance. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Ouch! I hit myself in the crotchal area.